Liberals continue to stand in the way of President Trump's migrant ban, despite the fact that hordes of unvetted migrants are pouring into our country, as we have no way to determine where these people are coming from. As liberals' love affair with Muslims reaches a fever pitch, they'll be celebrating over the latest way that their precious terrorists are infiltrating our country, after ISIS and Al-Qaeda just found a brand new loophole that will result in thousands of terrorists' entry into the United States. In a highly disturbing revelation, an investigative journalist by the name of Mark Sota is coming forward with the alarming thing that he discovered that's strangely missing from the form that immigrants fill out when they apply for entry into the United States. Form N-400 asks various questions including if the applicant is affiliated with communists or Nazis, but startlingly, the form does not even inquire if the applicant has ties to radical groups such as ISIS or Al-Qaeda. On both a symbolic and practical basis, this demonstrates a significant failure by the U.S. government, Sota stated about his findings after submitting a Freedom of Information Act request to our government. If the government thinks it's important to use these forms to ask people if they belong to specific hostile groups, why not include the groups that are trying to destroy us today, instead of ones that we were worried about decades ago? This data is critical, it should be aggregated, it should be analyzed, Sota told the DCNF. If the US government isn't doing the most basic form of data collection and data mining, then what the heck is going on? In my estimate, every day they fail to collect data from the N-400 is a day the federal government is not protecting us. In a sane world, data that is gathered on these forms could be used to help intelligence officials determine if immigrants pose as a threat to our national security, being that many of these people are from terrorist-ridden hotbeds. But for reasons that defy all logic, federal officials don't even compile this crucial data. Having those questions and the results on that statistic would confirm that U.S. law is being adhered to in the naturalization process, Heritage Foundation Homeland Security expert David Insera told the DCNF. If they're not reporting that data, then you can't query it. Sota, who has authored a Homeland Security textbook and worked as an investigative journalist for years, went on to add that there is nothing on these forms that would disqualify potential terrorists from entering our country, as there are zero questions pertaining to their radical affiliations. On both a symbolic and practical basis, this demonstrates a significant failure by the US government, Sota told the DCNF. If the government thinks it's important to use these forms to ask people if they belong to specific hostile groups, why not include the groups that are trying to destroy us today, instead of ones that we were worried about decades ago? Federal officials don't compile crucial data, such as what terrorist organizations applicants are affiliated with or if they've ever illegally voted in an American election, on the form used to vet immigrants seeking U.S. citizenship. The Daily Caller News Foundation's investigative group has learned. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, doesn't collect any statistics on how applicants answer questions on Form N-400, which is used to screen immigrants, according to the agency. This is absolutely asinine, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if these were the new guidelines given to our federal agents from Barack Hussein Obama. We all know that treasonous a-hole was doing everything he could while in office to take down our country, as he dumped billions of dollars at known terror groups during his presidency while doing nothing but furthering ISIS cause after he and Hillary created the terror group through their gun-running scheme in Libya. President Trump must continue his efforts to drain the swamp, and that means not only firing Obama's leftover officials, but also undoing the dangerous policies that were created by Obama and his band of treasonous morons. Hopefully the procedures for how we screen immigrants coming into the United States can quickly be changed before more terrorists are able to just walk right in, with no questions asked.